Hello, everybody. Mike from Southern California again. It is Wednesday, February the 19th, 2020, and you are on the mic. So, as everybody knows, every Tuesday, Vic, Vic Mignogna um, does a live stream on the Unlocked Live phone app. And also, as everybody knows, it is recorded by recorded and uploaded to Twitter and recorded, uploaded, and shared to Twitter and YouTube by Victor Vargas. As everybody knows, this happens on a weekly basis, and some of the YouTubers, including SG Sammy, Hero Hay, and Come Geek Some will usually report on what is brought up. So as initially reported by SG Sammy and subsequently reported by Come Geek Some earlier today, um, it came out I think maybe a couple of days ago, within the last couple of days, that somebody claiming to be ambassador, a moderator for Unlocked, basically claiming to be somebody with authority at Unlocked, was basically claiming that supposedly the recording and posting of the unlocked streams was against the TOS, the terms of service. Um, this, of course, caused a whole bunch of uproar, and the way they presented themselves did not help either, with some grammatical errors and all that. As it was looked into further, our old buddy Emish even went off on them about it. Um, Basically, it was eventually revealed that the person really wasn't somebody with any real authority. But and then Vic himself even countered this on his stream, um, talking about how one, this is a free service. Yeah, there was some supposedly concern about it, um, within the, but this was in more or less the issue was really revolving around a policy in regards when they're recording from conventions, not when they're like the weekly live streams that Vic and others do. And this is also funny how this supposed ambassador moderator tried to paint it. He said, "Well, this isn't just against Vic. This against anybody," claiming that um, claiming that it was against the terms of service. That they were trying to make it sound like copyright or something like that. Well, a couple points that were made. Um, One, it's a free app, so there's no money being lost on it. Anybody can go onto it if you choose to upload it to your phone or whatever, and you can access it. So nobody's losing money on it because it's a free app. And also, as I pointed out already, and as has been pointed out, the policy was talking more about if they were streaming from a convention because they were like selling digital tickets to the convention through it as well. But for the free apps like what Vic does, no, you can go. He even said that you can go ahead and upload it and share it and all that. Now, the person once they were called, of course, once they were called out for it, the person deleted their Twitter account and basically just said, "Yeah, I'm no longer a mod." Not that I think anybody truly believed that they were a mod. They were claiming authority that they didn't have. So you have to decide on that factor. Basically, they were falsely claiming they had authority that they didn't have. Vic himself even talked to Unlock people and said no, there was nothing wrong with that. And from what I understand, that I guess the main guy who um, who created Unlocked is Bryce Papenbrook. Um, the voice of course, Kirito from Sword Art Online, among others. Inosuke from Demon Slayer. So, so yeah, with that, they were basically sitting there trying to claim that it was against terms of service. Now, albeit there's no, because the person obviously just, they said they quit and then they just simply deleted all their accounts. But the underlying suspicion there is that the person may have been Kick Vic, once again trying to, in some form or another, get Vic canceled, trying to separate him, trying to put a wedge between him and his fans, him and his supporters, trying to find some weak crack to you know to weaken Vic, to get him to back down. I may go into a little bit more on this, in the next couple of days, depending upon, um, what comes out, because we know Ty got a second extension to just, I guess, touch up the briefs that he's supposed to have filed by now. And I'll talk a little bit about that once the briefs come out. Well, let me just say this, because I know some people were concerned about the briefs and him getting the second extension, for it. Understand, people. Remember, Ty probably wants to make sure that everything is in order, so that the appeals, so that, like, if you remember from the court case itself, Ty got busted on some technicality issues, like filing paperwork late. That's why I'm guessing that's why he was asking for the extension, so that he wouldn't get busted like that. Like we did hear about and find out, um, that Monica's team did submit their paperwork and got an extension to the 19th. So, and that, and I guess that would be the next extension, or they want to have everything, they want they want to file everything at the same time, basically. So, um, but anyways, back to what I was talking about here. So basically, my impression, I think everybody's impression is, now granted, we have no actual evidence this person's Kick Vic. It could have just been somebody who may have just simply been confused about the situation. Maybe they are Kick Vic, but they're just not one of the more vocal ones, or maybe they have sympathies towards Kick Vic. You know, maybe they're caught up in the Me Too delusion, and all that. Um, so, but again, basically, it just seems like another ploy to try to separate Vic from his fans, from those who support him, trying to isolate him. And I commented on this on Sammy's video. My thought is they were basically trying to isolate him in order to both figuratively and literally bury him. Okay, we've all thought that they want to cancel Vic. You know, I mean, there's been a number of, and lately they have, I mean, I did a video on it earlier about Kick Vic strategy, along with other people, about going back to that podcast that, um, Montello, Mars Girl, and Renfamous did at the beginning of the year. Um, we all probably heard about that podcast. I did, my own little report on that situation, on what Kick Vic's strategy was, and they've been out in full force, and we've seen it. And I'll probably be covering that in the next couple of days here too, about some of the stuff, because I personally believe they're on the attack again, because I think they're starting to realize that they may actually lose in appeals court. I think there are some in Kick Vic who probably are losing confidence that their narrative is getting shot down. Vic is still getting invited to cons. they're not able to cancel him. I think Vic even said he was doing an indie film project, so to say he's not working, okay, he's not working in anime right now, and I'm kind of sorry to hear that. Personally, I think Sentai in particular should really, Sentai Bang Zoom should be using him more, should be asking him to come in for stuff, just to kill that narrative they keep saying, well, he's still fired. Well, he's still apparently still working independent stuff. But also with him being busy with, the court case and stuff, it's like, maybe, I don't know, nobody really knows because, the thing is with NDAs in particular, neither the company until a product is released, whether it be the studio or the actor, voice actors, actresses, or people involved with the dub, they can't say anything until it's released. They can't even confirm if they're working on it or not. So that's something else to take into consideration there. For all we know, maybe he is getting offers, and maybe he for whatever reason, he's either working on stuff or maybe he can't, if he's working on something he can't say if he's specifically working on anything. Um, and if he's not, it's probably because he's busy with other stuff. Um, so that's stuff to take into consideration. But anyways, yeah. So I'm sure we'll keep seeing. Victor will probably get that thing uploaded sometime the next day or two. We'll all have a chance to, I guess maybe he already has. Cause I know, I know Come Geek some when he reported on it. Well, even Sammy had some of it too. So it's already been uploaded. It's already been shared. Again, it does seem like Kick Vic is on the attack again, and that is why it's important for everybody to stay strong and support Vic and try to be positive as best you can. I know everybody's going to get very aggravated with Kick Vic and stuff they pull, but realize something: it's not working. And Kitchener Con, prime example of that. They stood up to Mars Girl, and I haven't heard a peep from Mars Girl about Kitchener Con since. You know, so again, we'll probably in the next day or two probably do a video. Again, depending upon if anything comes out from the from when Ty finally files his briefs. Because Nick even said that once the briefs get filed, he'll probably be covering them. I'll check those out. I'll watch probably his stream, and then I'll give my commentary on them once they're. If we don't hear anything tonight, and I'll probably talk about Kick Vic being on the attack. If we do hear something tonight from Nick on it, then I'll probably be reporting on that. So at least you got an idea what I'll be reporting on over the next day or two to finish out the week here. So with that, I think that's all I can say about all that situation. So now let's look at this day in niche history. Okay, so on this date in niche history, on this date in 1970, which it was about 50 years ago, among many of their titles that they released included DC released on the newsstands Heartthrobs #1, the 125th issue of Heartthrobs, which was a romance comic that they picked up from Quality Comics, eventually changing the title to Love Stories at issue 147. But issue 125 was released on this day, as well as issue 150 of Star-Spangled War Stories. Star-Spangled War Stories featured Enemy Ace, Viking Prince, and Great Battles in History. The stories within Enemy Ace, the title of the story was Three Graves to Home, which involved after being shot down as he made his way back to his home. He found that he was in enemy territory, and Enemy Ace, by the way, is set in during World War One. Enemy Ace is a German pilot um, of the time. So, um, and the story involves him um, crash landing in enemy territory, in French territory, and encountering the loved ones of three pilots that he's killed in battle. Um, then we also have the Viking Prince, monster of the Viking Sea, in which um, the hero John the Viking Prince after the leader of the village, Captain Olaf, finds that their fishing nets have been cut. John goes to investigate, finds a dinosaur has been the one to have been cutting them. Goes to encounter the dinosaur. Um, well, okay, the dinosaur is trapped in a cave, released by John's rival Ulrich, who plans on killing him as he's battling the dinosaur, only to be killed by the dinosaur, you know, as the dinosaur decides to attack him. So, and in great battles of the Marines. So, on this date in 1970, DC releases on the newsstands Heartthrobs number 125 and Star-Spangled War Stories number 150. So now moving ahead in time, on this date 25 years ago, 1995, WCW's Super Brawl 5 happened. In the main event, Hulk Hogan retains the WCW World Heavyweight Championship by disqualification over Vader. Also on the card, Harlem Heat retains the WCW World Tag Titles against the Nasty Boys by disqualification. And in a dark match earlier in the night, Arn Anderson retains the WCW World Television Championship in a lumberjack match against Johnny B. Bad. So on this date in 1995 from the Baltimore Arena, WCW had the Super Bowl 5 event. Now moving forward here. Okay, so on this date in 2004, which was 16 years ago, um, the first season of Gunslinger Girl would finish its run on it would finish its broadcast run in Japan on Animax and Fuji Television on this date in 2004. Gunslinger Girl, which is basically about little girls who were trained to be assassins. Pretty cool, and got some good music to it too. I highly recommend watching it. But it would finish its initial Japanese run on this date in 2004. And finally, going 10 years forward here, on this date in 2014, which was about 6 years ago, um, the Mixels segments would start showing on Boomerang as what they call an interstitial program, which basically just means something in between something as a filler in between programs. Like some people might call them bumpers or whatever. But on this date in 2014, Mixels would start broadcasting as bumpers on Boomerang. And they are still, from what it says here, they are still broadcast to this day. So yeah. So as we finish up now, um, you guys can check the link below if you want to contact me directly. My Discord's always open. And DM me on my Discord. Check out my Discord and join if you'd like. As you guys also know, I'm promoting a bunch of different dub companies because remember, Funimation's not the only game in town. Um, also, um, also, I'm still, of course, promoting Vic's GoFundMe as well as the Ortiz family GoFundMe. As always, guys, um, never feel like you have to donate. I'm sure they appreciate your donations if you have the ability to, but they don't want to see you go bankrupt over it. If you have the means to and it's on your heart to do so, please consider donating. If you've already donated, please consider donating again. And if you cannot donate, you can still help out the cause by sharing the link. Because after all, sharing is caring. You never know. It doesn't hurt to ask. Maybe somebody in your circle of friends might say, "Yeah, so I want to help out too." Eh, you can always ask. There's nothing wrong with asking. Um, and with that, if you like this content, please consider liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing. I always look forward to the conversations with you guys, of course, as long as they're civil and respectful. You know, I will generally get right back to you. Um, I will generally get right back to you. I will usually respond pretty quickly as soon as I find out. And I hope you guys are learning as much as you can about this stuff, from these videos. Anyways, until tomorrow, bye.